Hello everyone, welcome to Mini Rogue Campaign Play.
And what you'll need to grab for the campaign play is the other player, the second player board. You flip it over and it is the perks that you'll be able to gather during the campaign. We'll go into that as we upgrade. So let's just set that off to the side for now. And let's set up our player board. We start with 0 experience. And if you look at your character, it'll tell you what you start out. We start with 10 as the rogue, 5 gold pieces, and 3 food. But during campaign play, you play roguelike. We also start with 0 potions. So roguelike is -2 health, -3 gold, and -1 food. You also start with 0 armor. So if you're playing with the rogue, that's what your setup will look like. If you're playing with a different character, -2 health, -3 gold, -1 food. Now let's go ahead and read the campaign on page 25.
By the king's decree, the elected champion of the city will travel north to retrieve the Og's blood. May this champion return safe and sound with the prized possession of the king.
The king gloomily stares at you, with sorrow in his eyes, while you receive his blessing. Around the king's neck, you catch a peek of a captivating amulet reflecting the fire of the torches. It is masterfully crafted and encrusted with the black obsidian stone. A dim, otherworldly shimmer emanates from the king. The time has come. You leave the city and its comforting walls to start your journey. If you choose to play as a rogue or a crusader, which we are, go to chapter 2.1. You saddle your horse and head straight to where you believe the Emerald Tower is located. You should reach it by the end of the night, but the path ventures into the murky forest. You feel lucky as the night sky is clear and the moon is full. Suddenly, 2 black robed figures emerge from the groves, scaring your horse. You abruptly fall to the ground and fail to reach your weapon when the 2 shades close in on you. Wake up, weak and shaking. Where are you? Dimly lit torches give off an otherworldly green-hued light. It looks like you've been mugged and thrown for dead into an old sewer. You must find your way out. Okay, we are going to follow the instructions here. We're going to start with the dungeon mat. So we have the dungeon set up over here. We're going to add the curse and the poison dice to our pool. No good. If we defeat the boss at the end of the second floor, we go to 3.3. If you are killed by the boss at the end of the second floor, we're going to go to 3.1. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and play through this chapter and teach you how to play. Now this dungeon, these sewers, they only have 2 floors. The sewers and then the dungeon. So if we come across a card where we're going to fall through the floor, we're not going to fall through to the floor 3 like in the regular game you would. I'm going to remove Og's remains here. We're just going to shuffle up the bosses. When we get to the end of each area, as you can see here we're going to be on floor 1. There's 2 areas in this sewer. The second area is going to have a boss. We're going to draw a card from this card. I'll show you that as we play through. I don't want to bog you down with a bunch of rules. I'll just let you see as we play. So let's just get 2 of the bosses. The map in Mini Rogue consists of, there's a deck of cards. And you shuffle these cards up, and you're going to lay out a 3x3 grid, 9 cards. Now, it's going to be 8 different cards because the bosses are going to be in the bottom right corner, always. And what we'll do is, the 3x3 grid, we start in the top left, and we encounter each room as we go, and let me show you how that works. This is our rogue figure. We're going to use that. We're going to flip over the first card here. It gives us a better view of the playing field without missing out on the dice rolls. Alright, so we're in the shrine. Let's take a look at this card. We look at the top right to see really what we have to do when we encounter this card. For this particular card, the shrine, we have to pay a gold, and we roll the black die, and we find out what we get. I don't see any reason why we shouldn't. It's going to cost us 1 of our gold, so we're at 2. We're going to slide on down to 1, and let's go ahead and roll that black die and see what we get. A 5. We're going to look at number 5, a dark heart. So we're going to get +1 health, go up to 9. You can heal all the way up to 20. So even though our starting health was 10, minus the 2 for roguelike level, we can go all the way up to 20. And we get a bless. They do have a cheat sheet that came with this, and it's a blessing, and it cures poison, curse, and blindness. So we're going to cure our poison and our curse. We just take these dice out of our pool. We'll probably get cursed and poisoned again, and I'll show you what that does when we get there. But that was awesome. That was a great way to start this game. Now, in the dungeon, you can only ever move right or down. When you're blind, you don't get to see where you're going. And that will be flipped over to this where you can't see. But in the meantime, we're not blind, so we are able to take a look at the rooms and get to choose a path. This is where your decision-making comes in. Which path do I take in order to get down to the bottom right? We have the option of a corridor. We have the option of a treasure. They both have this little symbol up in the top, which is, on this die, there's 2 successes, a 5 and a 6. So you notice how the outline around the 5 that, what's that, hexagon type of looking thing? It's not a hexagon, I know, but this is the best as I could describe it. A 5 or a 6 is a success. And that means we always roll the dungeon die with it. We would get whatever rewards are on the 2. I think I'm going to go down to the treasure room because we automatically get a gold, and at least we can get something. Now let's go ahead and roll, see if we can get a success. We did not. But if we did have a 5 or 6 there, we would have lifted 3, and we would have gained the rewards, which would have been 5 health. We'd have been set. So now we're going to take a look to see which options we have. We can go to the tomb, or we can go fight a monster. Let's go fight a monster so I can show you how this works. Up at the top, there is nothing up here. This is combat. Now, we are on, floor 1. So we're going to look down to the corresponding number here. We're fighting a giant spider. It has 6 health, so we will move the monster health meter to 6. Every time he damages us, whenever he rolls a 2 through a 5, he damages us. When he rolls a 6, he also damages us, but our armor doesn't take effect. We don't have any armor, so that's not going to matter. But let's go ahead and roll. Alright, we did 5 damage to him. So he goes from 6 down to 1. You always resolve your damage first. Then you take a look at his. He's got a 6, so if he would pierce our armor, he's doing 2 damage to us. We're going from 9 to 7. The next round of combat begins. We rolled a 3, we did 3 damage, we kill him. Well, 1 is a miss. He wouldn't have did any damage to us anyway. So now we're going to reap the rewards. +1 experience point. We're going to move our XP marker over. If we hit 6, we get to level up and go to level 2, where we will get an extra die. That is big. And now, after defeating the monster, we only have one option. There's no more going down. We can go across to the crow. We have the option of, this little symbol is if we pay 1 food, we gain this card to our hand, and then we can hold on to these until we choose to use it for one of these options. Otherwise, the crow is going to take a gold. We'll let it go ahead and take a gold. We're okay with that. For our final move of the turn, we're going to go into that final spot and we're going to delve. What that means is we're going to lose 1 food, and if we don't have a food to lose, we would take 3 damage. And we go from this area to the next area of the sewers. And this is going to be a boss board. What we do is we clean up all the 8 cards we laid out. We're going to take them, we're going to put them right back into the deck. Shuffle up a fresh set of cards. And we're going to deal out 8 new ones. I mean, there may be some repeats. You're going to see cards repetitively in this, but I think there's enough variety here in this base game. Until you played it, several times, then you're going to want to maybe get an expansion and add more cards to it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we'll put these up and off camera. Now, This is a boss board. We do get to see what the boss is. We go up here. Let's see what we're going to be facing at the end of level 1. The King's Protector. And he's going to be level 1, so he's going to have 12 health. That is for a 2-player game, he'd have 24, but we're not paying attention to that. He's going to do 2 points of damage, and he's just going to ignore our armor anyway. So having armor isn't going to matter for that battle. Let's go ahead and flip over, and we are dealing with the monster. We're still on floor 1. We're in area 2, but we're still on floor 1. So we're fighting a giant rat, 6 health. Okay. Gonna do 2 points of damage every time he hits. Let's go ahead and roll. I could take the option of using my rogue special ability, which is a backstab, where I double the damage of a single die for my attack. And what I would do is I would flip that over to show that I've used it. And once I delve and go to a new floor, or a new area of the dungeon, that'll reset and flip back over. There's also different cards that will allow you to do it. So, we did 3 points of damage. He's going from a 6 down to a 3, and he hits. He does 2 damage. We're going from 7 health down to 5. Next round of combat, we did 2 points of damage. He is still alive. He's got 1 health, and he does 2 more to us. We're down to 3 health. We might be getting a perk point soon. We did 5. We're going to do that damage first, and he's not going to return the hit. What are our rewards? 1 XP. We're now up to 2 XP. We do need to get healed, though. There is a hunter. We could use him. And a corridor. The reason I say that is because we only have 2 gold. If we had 3 gold, we could have bought 4 health. We roll a 5 here, we can drop through the floor, but I don't know that we want to do that. Let's go see the hunter anyway. We're going to need 2 more food. We only have 1. We have to buy at the cost of 1 per whatever level we are on. That's what those stairs are. We're on level 1, so it's going to cost us 1 gold for a food. I feel like that's a good bargain right there. Probably some old rat meat. But beggars can't be choosers. That encounter's over. Now, if we had enough gold, we could continue to purchase. But we do not. An empty shelter, that is exactly the card we need. And a monster. We go to the empty shelter, we automatically go back up to 10 health. And that was a lifesaver right there. Now, at the top right of the card, we see that little success symbol. And this little +-1 means if we're successful, we can alter the dungeon die +or-1. So that gives us some options. And we did get a success. And we rolled a 5. So 5 is a rogue's trap, -3 health. Well, who would want that? The option is an adventurer's ghost. We could have a run-in with the ghost here and fight him. That's not a good option for us either. The other is the cleric's shelter, number 4. Or we would get a holy potion or a health potion. Well, we absolutely want that health potion. So we go to our potion marker here, and we go here for the healing potion. We might as well just drink it right now. That gives us 6 health. So we go from 10 to 16. We are looking really good. Now we have to go down. There is no other option. There is no room to the right. We're going to flip it over, and it is that crow. He is persistent. We cannot lose a coin, and if you don't have to pay, you lose a health. So we're down at 15. We're going to continue right on down to the King's Protector. It is now a boss battle here. Level 1, 12 health. So let's set his health to 12. Let's go ahead and take advantage of our rogue card and double the damage of a single die from our attack. Alright, get us a 6. A 2. That could have been way better. Could have been worse if we rolled a miss. So 4 damage off of his 12. He's down to 8. He hits us. 2 damage. He pays no attention to the shield anyway. 13 health. Let's go again. 6. So right now we have the option. This is an exploding die. And what that means is I could take this die and I could roll it again and add that total on top of my 6. The only problem is if I roll that, I lose everything. I don't get the 6. I lose it. And I think we're going to chance it. 4, 10 points of damage. We did it. Alright, we finished off the King's Protector. We're going to gain the rewards here. We're going to get plus 2 XP. We're now up to 4 XP. And we get the reward. We're going to flip over to the reward side. We're going to get plus 2 gold. So now we have gold again. And we're going to roll the dungeon die. As noted, see what we get. A 1. We get a fire potion or plus 2 XP. We're taking that plus 2 XP because that's going to put us at level 2. We have now unlocked the second die. And that increases your chances dramatically of getting successes on these boards. We are here. It's time to delve. It's going to cost us a food. And we get to flip our card back over. Let's refresh the cards, reshuffle. We get rid of the King's Protector. He is gone. We're not going to show that. We are now on the second floor, so we'll be reading off the number 2 in area 1. Designated by the number 3, so I guess we can call it area 3, but the first area of level 2, so there's no confusion. Oh, I thought you had a shuffle. These cards are nice quality. I like them. Alright, let's lay out the first area on the second floor. Put these off to the side. We are up in the top left, since we always start up there. And we've got a hunter. We've got a little bit of loot to pay him. We've got 2 gold. It would cost us 2 gold to buy another food. I don't feel like we need another food because we only got to spend 1 more to get to the end of this dungeon. We're just going to skip this encounter altogether. A treasure, always nice. I'd like to get another XP, just in case, or the armory. Let's go to the armory and see if we can get a success. If we can get a success, we get to take this card. And we did. We rolled a 5. So if we look at this 5 here, we found a fair longsword. And it has 2 feats. So we go ahead and take this. What a feat is just a re-roll. We'll put that right next to our character, and we'll put a little cube to designate we have 2 re-rolls left. At any point, you can perform a feat. Now, normally you can spend, if you look right here, it's small, but you can spend 1 of your XP to get a re-roll. Or you can spend 2 health points to do so. Usually do that if you have a miss. You can only ever re-roll a die 1 time, though, so you have to live with the results. We are here. Let's see what options we have. We have a bonfire, so we're absolutely going to the bonfire. We can get that XP and make us safe. Rest and get 2 health or get a food. Let's take that extra XP just to give us a little breathing room in case we lose an XP. What are our new options? There's a hermit hanging out, and there is a damp cave. The hermit, we can spend an XP to gain 3 gold. We can spend a food to gain 3 health, or we can swap 2 dungeon tiles in the area. If we could take that bonfire and put that right back down. This has a plus or minus 1. Let's go down. Let's go on down to the damp cave and see if we can get a success here. We got a success. We got a number 5. We also have the option of bringing this 5 to a 4 or a 6. 5 is a glowing cap with plus 2 XP. We could lose a food, or we can get a poison potion. Let's take that 2 XP. We're up to 9. We've got plenty of breathing room now. That's right. We're just going to move here. We're going to delve. It's going to cost us a food. It's going to bring us to area 2 in floor number 2. So we're going to take our cards. Shuffle them back into the deck. And lay out our final grid of this chapter. See how it goes. And then I could show you how the perk points work. And how you can purchase an upgrade during the campaign. And so I don't blow the rest of the campaign for you, because it's not a very long campaign. And I don't want to read, go through the entire thing and ruin any discovery for you. So far what I've read, you have to read to start the campaign, except for the part where you choose a rogue or a crusader. But I had to show you something. So, the final area here, we are, make sure you can, this is all on. Let's see what we're facing off against. The Spider Queen. Now this is level 2, so she's gonna have 16 health. And she poisons. The poison die, see this is a tomb. The poison die has 3 sides that have a poison drop on it. And you roll this whenever you do any sort of combat or any success tests. And if a poison comes out, you automatically take 1 damage. That's how that works. The cursed die, in case I don't get cursed, same thing. 3 sides have the skull on it. The skull comes out. All your rolls go down by 1. Alright, let's face this tomb and see if we can get a success. We got it. Number 4, and we get the plus or minus 1. Codex gives us an XP. Number 3 gets us a gold. The rat swarm loses us a food. So let's just take the Codex and get an extra XP. What kind of trouble can we get into? The crow. We have no food. We don't want to lose any gold. Let's go down to the corridor. As we get a success, we have options. We're not jammed up. We did not get a success, so we're not going to pay attention to that whatsoever. We can go to the shrine, pay a gold to roll the dungeon die, or we can face off against the trap. Well, let's go to the shrine, pay a gold, and get to roll this black die. See what we get. A 1. We are a disgrace, and we are now poisoned and cursed. So I went through explaining them to you, but now you get to see them in action. So that's good. A treasure or a trap. Not to try to hurt ourselves, but let's go down to the trap, just in case we have a failure here. I can show you that. So, we did not get a success. So now, the dungeon die has a 6. We did not trigger either of those. We look at the 6, it's a bat swarm, and we look in the failure area there. We lose a food, we do not have a food, so we have to lose a health point. And we become blind, which really isn't that big of a deal. When you become blind, like I said, you don't get to see the area you're going into. You move, and then you flip the card over, as opposed to being able to choose, which option you're going to go. So let's go fight the Spider Queen. There's no penalties for being blind. 16 health. This is the big battle. We're going to roll all the dice, and we're definitely using our rogue ability to double the damage of a single die. And if we get lucky, we can roll that 6 for double damage. We do have our 2 feats left, remember. Oh, we got a 6. Now, we did not get a 6, but we took a damage because of the poison. Let's move that to the side. We're cursed. So this effectively becomes a 5, and this becomes a 2. We doubled the damage on one, so that becomes 10 points of damage, plus the 2. So 12 total points of damage off of 16. The Spider Queen now has 4 health left, and she missed. She didn't do any damage to us. She missed, it didn't matter if poison him, but she didn't do the 4 damage she would have done. Let's go ahead and roll. We didn't like that die, so we just got rid of it. All right. Bam. We did 6 points of damage. We missed again, and she missed. Anyway, that defeats the Spider Queen. I defeat her. We get our 2 XP. We get our reward, which is at least 2 gold. We're up to 3 gold, and we roll that black die and see what else we get. 3. We get a poison potion, or we get 2 more XP. We'll take 2 more XP and get up to 14. Because at 18 XP, you level up again, and you get a 3rd die to roll with. And then you're pretty powerful. Now, I feel like 2 dice is excellent. 3 dice is way better. No, common sense tells you that. So, that is the end of the chapter. In campaign play, all your stats stay the same, unless instructed otherwise in the campaign log, or the campaign summary here. Don't want to read any more off to you, but I will show you how the perks work. And that's right here on the perk thing. You earn perk points when you die or complete a chapter. We just completed a chapter, and we get a perk point for every completed floor. You completed the first and the second, so we completed 2. And we keep track of this in this little area right here. We have 2 perk points. Also, we get a perk point for every level up. Well, we went from level 1 to level 2, so we have 3 perk points. There are some rules for your perks. You earn perk points, you cannot progress on more than 2 skill trees. There's an exploration skill tree, a survival skill tree, and a combat skill tree. You can only pick 2 of them to go up. The other rule is there's a cost for these perks. The ones on the bottom here cost you 1 perk point. The second tier cost you 2 perk points. And the top tier cost you 4 perk points. In tier 3 there. Now, once you choose a path, like if I was to take a perk for combat here, I'll tell you what, let me spend 1 of my perk points and go to 2. And I will designate their survivalist 1. And I'm only going to lose 1 health when I'm starving. That's when you go to delve and you don't have any food. You lose 3 health. Now you'll only lose 1 health. That's a really good perk. I have 2 more to spend, so I could spend 2 more and I could either go the hunter healer path. Because if I take the hunter, if I want to upgrade again in the survival, I have to take the healer. I can't go the other way. And the same with perceptive and agile. I'm going to perk just the perceptive. So we're going to get rid of the die. We have no perk points to keep track of. And I can just slide this up to perceptive. Now the rooms that have that plus or minus 1 where we get the fiddle and go plus or minus 1 on the dungeon die, we can now do plus or minus 2. And that just gives you so many more options to just breeze through the dungeon, I feel. I think the campaign could be hard, or this game could be hard in the beginning, but I feel like once you level up to level 2 and get that second die, and you can always have bad dice rolls, and, things go sour. But after that, it becomes much easier to navigate and get around. Sometimes the cards don't come out, sometimes you don't get lucky and find that the shelter where I go up to 10 health when I was only at 3. Could have been a disaster, could have went the other way. But so goes the randomness of dungeon crawler games. Anyway, that is the end of our Learn to Play playthrough on the campaign. You keep this, you keep all your stats in place, you keep your experience points, whatever health points you have, wherever your food's at, you'll continue on with the chapter and read, make your choices, and go from there. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. If you want me to continue the campaign, I'd be happy to do so. Also leave that in the comments below. That's it for today. Until next time.